All eyes are about to turn to ruby red Tennessee. So, over the last few weeks and months, the Democrats have been dominating special elections. But that's raised the question. Has the Democrat overperformance been an indicator? Is it an early warning sign of an impending blue wave in next year's midterms? Or have all of these special elections just been flukes and unique circumstances that can't be replicated on a nationwide level? So that's why all politicos are tuning in to Tennessee's special election in District 7, because if the Democrats can pull off an upset here, then it's definitely not a good sign for the GOP heading into next year's midterms. But there is a new wrinkle because the Democrat candidate, Afton Ben, has been caught in a newly released video from 2019 where she attempted to storm Governor Lee's office. She was caught by state police, dragged out of the office screaming and crying and acting as if she did nothing wrong. She's the victim in all of this.
Y'all should be ashamed.
So as you can see here, she's sobbing for the cameras, the photo op. I doubt she would have been crying and screaming and still on the ground at this point if it weren't for the fact that the press was around. Afton Ben knew exactly what she was doing. As you saw at the top of the video, she charged. She was running into the governor's office. Those police officers have no idea whether or not she is a security threat, so they have to handle her like a security threat, which is why they dragged her out. Notice they didn't beat her, they didn't punch her, they didn't even arrest her. To me, she got off really easy, so it's ridiculous that her and her assistant pretended to claim that she was the victim in all of this. Now, this did happen 6 years ago, so maybe some people are wondering, well, Daniel, she's matured since then. Maybe she's learned her lesson. We've all done dumb things when we were kids. Well, personally, I've never rushed a governor's office. That's one thing. But she hasn't learned her lesson. In fact, she seems to have gotten more insufferable since that moment. She is running to represent Tennessee's District 7 in the House of Representatives. But what is the biggest part of Tennessee District 7? Well, she's going to represent part of Nashville, Tennessee, the capital of Tennessee and the largest city in the state. Well, listen to what she had to say about Nashville.
And heavily involved with the Nashville mayoral race because I hate the city, I hate the bachelorettes, I hate the pedal taverns, I hate country music, I hate all of the things that make Nashville apparently an it city to the rest of the country, but I hate it. Yeah, I'm that girl at the airport that all these bachelorettes are giddy walking out in their two-toned colored Pantone pink shirts, and they walk out and they're like, oh my god, Nashville is so bad!
They're so loud.
If you hate the city, why are you running to represent the city and the district as a whole? Why not move somewhere else? It's one thing to run, right? Because you want to make a difference and because you want to make the city and the district a better place. But if you just hate it, I don't trust you to represent the people here. So that right there is just absolutely ridiculous. But even though she is obviously crazy, obviously hateful, and just all the synonyms for the word nuts, the Democrats, they're going all in on her. So according to Politico, House Democrat Super PAC drops $1 million on Tennessee's special election. House Majority PAC is wading deep into a deep red special election, signaling Democrats' continued optimism about their recent overperformance. The reason this is really notable is because it's not just the House PAC. The Democrat Party as a whole is also just going all in on this race. In fact, over 70 to 80% of the money in the race is coming from out of state. But this really tells you, I think, that the Democrats have strong faith that they can either flip this seat. It is a solidly red seat. They can either flip it or make it competitive. And the reason I believe this is because, according to the New York Times, short on cash, a DNC took out $15 million loan in October. This has been confirmed by many other sources. The DNC has been in debt and they are struggling to pay their bills. They've essentially had to downsize because Kamala Harris's campaign was such a fiscal burden on the organization as a whole. So if the DNC is in debt, if they're having to take out loans to pay their bills and survive and stay afloat, if their fundraising numbers are just plummeting and they're just not doing as well as you would think, either one of two things is true. Number one, they believe that they can really flip the seat, or at least make it competitive so they can plant their flag early and say, hey, the blue wave is real, those special elections weren't flukes, we're coming. Or option number two, they really are that dumb and they're just terrible with money and they're throwing money away because they can't read the tea leaves. I don't think there is any other option. I think one of those two things is true. And honestly, I'm not sure. I think it could be 50-50. I mean, we do know the Democrats are terrible at spending money. They spent over $1 billion, the most expensive presidential campaign ever. And Kamala Harris still lost in historic, legendary fashion. So I think that's possible. But if you take a look at the other special elections, and if you take a look at the trend for this particular district in Tennessee, it's not that far-fetched to say, hey, this could actually turn out to be a competitive race in less than 2 weeks. Now, the crazy thing is that Afton Ben is actually so radical, so crazy. I mean, you saw those two clips, right? She hates the district she's about to represent. She stormed the governor's office. Well, despite all of that, she's even more radical in her policies. And MS Now actually called her out on air and gave her pushback.
Representative, in 2020, you made some tweets that have since been deleted that were very critical of police. You said in those since deleted tweets that the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department should be dissolved. Another cheered on a teachers union saying that defund the police should be a requirement for schools reopening. And another saying good morning, especially to the 54% of Americans that believe burning down a police station is justified. 2020 was obviously a very fraught year. Do you still stand by those comments? And if not, is there anything you want to clarify?
I'm not going to engage in cable news talking points, but what I will say is that our communities need solutions. We need local people deciding, solving local problems with local solutions. And that's not the overreach of a federal government or state government of which we are dealing with in Nashville and our cities across the state of Tennessee.
So you don't want to clarify whether you still believe that the police should be defunded?
Once again, I don't remember these tweets, but what I'm saying is that
I'm not asking you if you remember. What is your position today? How's that on this issue?
I mean, I'm here to talk about my race, which is in literally 9 days.
She doesn't want to talk about the issue because she doesn't want to lose her race. She knows that that is an unpopular issue. Again, the Democrats usually have that. Somehow they have the talent, the knack of choosing the 20 side in 80-20 issues. I have no idea how they managed to do that time and time again. And you could tell the MS Now host was even disgusted with her. For her to say, hey, I don't want to talk about and engage in your cable news talking points, those were your posts. Those were your words being used against her. She is even now going on the record saying that Republicans are twisting her words. She's claiming that she never said that she hates Nashville or her district. She's claiming she's the victim in all of this.
Republicans decided that they're going to start this narrative that me, the state representative who represents downtown Nashville, doesn't like the city.
Because I hate the city, I hate the bachelorettes, I hate the pedal taverns, I hate country music, I hate all of the things that make Nashville, apparently.
Like the MS host now said, what are your views on it now? Look, if the Democrats actually manage to pull this off and take Tennessee District 7, it's going to be a massive blow in Congress. I know a lot of people celebrated when MTG resigned. I know a lot of people don't like her, but to me, you can have whatever opinion you want when it comes to Marjorie. You can say she's a traitor. You can say she's untrustworthy just because she went on CNN or The View. But to me, she voted with President Trump. She voted for his agenda 90% of the time. If you take a look at her voting record, she's a lot more consistent than most Republicans in Congress. So it is a fraught time because Republicans are losing a seat. And yes, she'll be replaced with another Republican, but it's probably realistically going to end up being a rhino. And that's why the Democrats are going all in. According to The Hill, Democrats look to cap off a winning streak with Tennessee's special election. While there aren't a lot of new polls on this, the only good polling I've seen, and it's not even a poll, they're just data points, came from Steve Kornacki on MS Now.
Into the south to some rural areas, so sort of a mix in this district, a very Republican district. You wouldn't normally talk about this district being at all potentially competitive, except here.
That's right. So this district typically isn't competitive. The reason it's so competitive now is, well, number one, the polling does show that it's tighter. There hasn't been a lot of I don't think I've seen like an Atlas Intel poll or Rasmussen poll, right, on this specific race. But a lot of the reason is because the Democrats have been overperforming how they did in 2024. And if you actually take a look at this, at all of these special elections, in the very middle here, you'll see how President Trump performed, or how these districts performed in 2024. He did better. These districts went more red than they did in 2020. Now, on the very left, you'll have the results for this year's elections. And across the board, whether it's in ruby red Florida, Florida 1-2, or Virginia 11, Arizona 7, the Democrats overperformed. And in fact, the Republicans, not only did they perform worse than they did in 2024, but they performed worse than they did in 2020. So assuming this trend holds, that means that Tennessee 7, I mean, if Republicans are going to underperform or Democrats are going to overperform, they might not win the seat, but they would bring Tennessee 7 into the single digits, because in 2020, it was 15 points. So if the Democrats actually bring this into the single digits, or lo and behold, if they pull off a major upset in Tennessee, I think this is going to be, it's definitely going to send shockwaves through the political world, I think. When it came to New York City's mayoral race, New Jersey, Virginia, I think both sides read into it however they wanted, and you can make the argument either way. I think this right here is either going to prove that, yes, those were fluke elections and there really is no blue wave coming, or it's going to make Republicans nervous. Now, that's not necessarily bad news heading into next year. All it is, again, is an early warning sign, and warning signs exist so you can take action now, so the party can prepare. They can lay the foundation to make sure that the blue wave never materializes. As always, though, all of this is just my analysis and commentary. This is what's happening in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So the question of the day, like I said earlier, the Democrats are pouring huge money into this race, even though they are in huge financial trouble. Are they pouring the money into the race because they think they can actually flip it, or do you think they're just wasting money and it's poor fiscal management? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, or hey, if there's another option that I missed, also let me know down in the comments below. Sorry, I've been so off with videos this month. I know it hasn't been consistent like it has been throughout the rest of the year. Obviously, the concerto competition took me out, and then I felt bad about the concerto competition. Thank you for the encouraging comments, by the way. So many of you were so kind and really helped me put it into perspective. And, I am slowly accepting that second place is still an accomplishment. It's still a win, even though it's not the win. And so thank you for that reminder. But on Wednesday, I was like, I want to get better at something else just to prove to myself that I can do good. And so I started swimming more backstroke Wednesday. All of that to say, I ended up blowing out my back because I increased my yardage too quickly. And so it was so bad that for about 2.5 hours, I was literally on the floor behind this blue thing and could not get up. I ended up going to urgent care. Nothing was wrong. It was severe, but not serious, was the way it was phrased. Nothing wrong with my spine, no discs out of place, no nerve damage. It was just a true, tweaked my back the wrong way, and it was really severe. After being on the floor for almost 3 hours, all I could do after that was crawl. Yesterday was the first day I was able to get out of bed. Today, I'm sitting, but as you can see, I have a pillow behind me, so it's been crazy, and that's why... I guess all of that to say, it's been a crazy month, and that's why I haven't been making videos as consistently as I would like, and I know as many of you would like, but I just wanted to share a personal life update with you. I know this isn't a personal vlog, but I feel like with a lot of you, we have a special relationship. I read your comments, I read your emails, and I try to respond as I can, and, I just feel like I owe it to y'all to explain, hey, this is why I haven't been posting, but hopefully once I'm back up and running, I'll be more consistent here on the tube. If you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, press the like button, do all the things, and I'll see you next time. Check out one of these videos.